Hello everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. Today we're going to be looking at a piece by Ryan Hawthorne. He just made waves with his new 404 collection, and he just got released into a new gallery as well. So there's a ton happening with Hawthorne, and we're going to take a closer look at one of his pieces today. So this piece is entitled Cross Chain, of course, by Ryan Hawthorne, and this really follows the series of kind of this digitized glitch art, this kind of shattered effect that we're seeing on a lot of different pieces within the 404 collection. I keep wanting to call it 404, but formally it is known as the 404 collection. It can be found on the Ethereum blockchain, and it can be found on OpenSea most specifically. So let's jump right into it. So in our initial introduction, we're met with a lot of visual energy. That is, of course, achieved by this kind of strange torn or shattered glass effect here. And that is such a stunning texture there. So the first thing I notice is that we see the canvas is split into 6 main regions. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is of course achieved by this kind of star-esque form of this. It's hard exactly what to tell this, but we'll call it our subject here in the center spatial composition. So that gives this unique sense of harmony, even though it's so chaotic, right? Even though it's extremely chaotic and there's even this kind of optical illusion happening, we're simultaneously still given just at least a hint of order because we see about 6 individual and very close in size regions. So those are important to note as well. So as I mentioned before, the texture here is really, really interesting. This is really common with glitch art. So you see this kind of shattered glass effect, or of course the glitch. Glitch art originated as kind of seeing a malfunction in a screen or any type of electronic device and then manually recreating that. So whenever we first see glitch art and some type of hardware malfunction, of course, our heart starts beating fast. We're like, oh no, our machine broke. And from that kind of chaotic, unsettling feeling, glitch art was born out of a desire to control that and kind of recreate that within a controlled medium. Because artists, at the end of the day, are really just masters of controlling chaos into kind of an ordered form. So I think that's really important to note whenever taking a look at, say, glitch art, as well as the texture achieved by the influence of glitch art here in the spatial composition. So we have a really unique perspective here, and I drift towards optical illusion because let's say for here, for example, you have this kind of defined form going down, right? But up here, you have what feels like an optical illusion. You know, it once it goes across here, we're kind of met with this closer facing, but then this one is aimed away. So it really gives this unique sense of optical illusion that I don't think many people notice at first, but after a while, when you really try to look at this piece, it's quite clear that it's kind of playing some games with your brain, and there's some incredible tricks going on here. So I think that gives the piece a lot of nuance. It gives it a lot of depth. It gives it a lot of character as well. And then that of course combines with the glitch art kind of torn texture style to just create such a memorable piece as we see here. So as I said before, we have this, strange perspective here. It feels like we're looking on it head on, but it also feels like we're looking on it from the side of both left and right above. So that reminds me of cubism in a really interesting way. I've seen more and more influences or kind of archaic revivals of cubism within the glitch art medium, and of course surrealism in general. Surrealism, actually, I kind of wanted to talk about this area. It almost feels like some type of digital world or some type of kind of I stray to say metaverse, but it really feels like that because it feels like some type of spiritual realm, where light and color just blend naturally and things don't follow any set perspective. They kind of morph into these incredibly complex geometric shapes. So I think that's really important to know whenever taking a look at this piece. So of course, this crystalline or crystalline type of texture, it refracts, it reflects, and it hosts light stunningly. So you see that kind of crystal glow all across every pixel to spatial composition here, you also seeing that giving that striking red and that striking orange that is almost reminiscent of fire in an interesting way as well. There's a ton of different colors here. Of course, the main ones that we are drawn to is this red orange, but there's also some really nice blues, some really nice greens as well, and even some kind of light and more rare accents of yellow there in the spatial composition as well. And of course, that is set by the foundation of this kind of crystal white color, which sets that sixth main star in the center spatial composition. So those all give the piece a really, really interesting visual experience, and I think that's important to note when we're taking a look at this. So the title of this piece is Cross-Chain, and whenever I first saw this, I instantly thought of how artists are not limited to any one place to post. They could post on Web 2.0 platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, etc., but they could also post on things like the Tezos blockchain, or they could post on the Ethereum blockchain or Solana, and they are really not tied down by any centralized institution. So I think that is an incredible amount of power for the individual artist. Because just think about that. If you're not bound by any centralized platform or any centralized type of area or company, then you can really distribute your art anywhere. You can distribute your art anywhere, and you never know where whenever you're gonna find your next viewer, your next fan, or hopefully your next buyer. So I think that's really important to note. Artists are not limited to posting on any singular platform. And as an artist or any creative type in general, you can really take advantage of that current scene to just post almost on every single platform, because you never know where you're going to find your next fan, artist, collaborator, or of course buyer as well. So we're going to take a closer look at Ryan Hawthorne's profile. As I said before, he's recently started doing some moves on this gallery, and we see it right here. Sotheby's, incredibly, incredibly historic. This man's making Sotheby's. I'm incredibly proud of Hawthorne. It's incredible. I've been watching him for almost a year, maybe even a little over a year now, but his art is just absolutely incredible. So you'll see that it's curated by Tung for Sotheby's, and we have top digital artists such as David Aru, Raoul Marx, and the works of the Chinese contemporary artist Jiali Studio. So I'm really excited to see what happens here. This was just released a day ago, so it's still yet to see exactly how this is going to play out, but I'm incredibly excited. Of course, you can see some other variations of the 404 project here. We see that everywhere here, we see that here, and this style has actually been going back for a really, really long time. He's been posting these for quite a while, so it's quite obvious he's been kind of sitting on this type of glitch art style, and he just wants to share that with the world, and we're incredibly blessed by that opportunity. Like, just look at this piece, the complex geometry, this kind of two-dimensional, three-dimensional illusion, the amount of light within the piece. It feels like the screen is shattering, but it's kind of shattering to the tune of some type of higher spiritual order. So it's absolutely incredible, and I just love that piece. So one of the first pieces we ever showcased from him was from his see, what is that collection called? So he essentially took classical statues, made low poly renderings, and then put them into kind of a set environment and made this really futuristic feel on it. So he's doing incredible things, and of course we see this as a clear deviation from his traditional style, but overall this man is mastering the sci-fi realm. He has just incredible pieces. You'll see here, this is the piece that we actually just recently showcased. I believe it was about 2 weeks ago. This was a really interesting piece. It was a really fun study, and this man just keeps outdoing himself. He makes massive waves. You see these traditional artists that got into NFTs, and whenever they got into NFTs, nothing changed. It was business as usual. They just simply started minting their art. And we see, in my personal opinion, the ones that are most successful are the artists where you see nothing has changed from their original posting all the way to the creation and discovery of NFTs. So that's really important to note. Ryan Hawthorne is staying true to his passion. It's quite clear. He has a clear passion for this, and he's pioneering some amazing new movements within glitch art, within science fiction, and within three-dimensional art and rendering art as a whole. So I hope you guys enjoyed this piece. I really wanted to share it. It was really hard for me to put this into words, but after about a week or so, I was able to slowly, get our notes, and hopefully we were able to break that down today and cover everything that I wanted to. A really crystalline piece, a piece that takes that shattered glass effect but uses it to the highest order possible and uses that to create such a memorable visual experience. Absolutely incredible. Part of this feels divine, and it feels like we're in some type of fractal space that transcends physical reality. So it's absolutely incredible. Love Hawthorne's art, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned some lessons. Go check out some of his other pieces. Most importantly, go check out his 404 collection. I will have the OpenSea link down below to check out his collection and see what you guys want to support him, and keep looking at Hawthorne because he'll be making a lot more waves to come. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you on the next Apollo Art Analysis. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.